Hello everybody, my name is Albert, and yesterday I walked one of the highest peaks in all of Mallorca, and that experience was quite incredible, so I want to share that here and hopefully inspire some people to do the same. The first part of the video I'll quickly go through all the things I pack when I go on a trip like this, just if you want to take some inspiration from me. But if you just want to see the trip itself, you can skip to here. That's when I start actually doing the walking. So first off, we have the hiking bag, which is obviously a necessity when going on hikes. Then we have a hammock. I actually didn't get to use it this time, but it's nice to have on me in case I want to settle down. We have this little thing I put around my neck to protect the sun, and the hat as well for the same reason, protect against the sun in Spain. We have my beloved binoculars. Then we have my wired headphones, love those. Have some UV protection glasses. We have some sunscreen. And the lip balm with SPF, because the sun in Spain is not one to be messed with. Then we have the power bank, love that. And this amazing water bottle that keeps cool for like 24 hours. It's great. And obviously I need a watch as well. Go check out the time. And now we're moving on to the proviant. We have some gum. It's nice to have something to chew on when walking those long routes. And we have a little mixture of some nuts and some dark chocolate, as well as some candy. So I really don't want to go sugar cold in the mountain. For the same reason, we have some cola, some Monster Energy drink for the caffeine. We have a pizza, we have some bakery stuff, and a whole plate of chocolate. I didn't really eat most of this, but it's just nice to have when I'm walking somewhere new where I don't know exactly what I'm gonna need. And yeah, this is the breakfast. I made it already the night before, because it's just a lot easier. And this is me packing all the stuff. So things that need to go in the fridge, I put in the fridge, and things that are already ready to go in the bag, I put in the bag. And naturally I had to look and prepare the boots as well. I absolutely love these shoes. They are so great for hiking. And yeah, preparing the breakfast for tomorrow, putting it in right there, it's gonna make my life a whole lot easier when I wake up. And for the clothing part, it's just very basic. I have some long underwear, some hiking socks. These are great for not getting blisters. Some hiking pants with a lot of different pockets. It helps a lot when you have a lot of small things you don't really want to lose count on. And then a UV protective long arm shirt, so I don't have to reapply sunscreen on my arms all the time. And obviously a belt so my pants don't fall down. Sometimes I have the tape as well. I don't think it will be necessary for tomorrow. And now tomorrow has come. The time was around 9 when I chose to wake up. I like to sleep in when I have the chance. And obviously get some nice sunlight in from the very morning, so I'm gonna stay as fresh as possible. And quickly getting dressed. I didn't really have anything to worry about. Just taking my time, enjoying some nice podcast. And this is exactly why I prepare my breakfast the night before. It makes my life so much easier. I just grab a spoon, get it ready, and then put whatever milk or chocolate milk I feel like doing that day. It saves me those extra 10 minutes where I'm not really in the mood for standing and playing chef. And after finishing up my breakfast, I just got the stuff out of my fridge and got my bag packed. So now I am ready to go on this hike. One last thing I did was just for fun to weigh myself and see how much I weighed with the bag versus without the bag. And it turned out my bag was like around 7 kilos, which isn't great, but it's not terrible, I think. So I just got my ride into Palma City. Got my lovely walking sticks here. And now it's time to find the bus that will take me to the mountain region. This city is an absolute nightmare to drive in. There's so many cars. They're always going so horribly fast. But one thing I do really admire about Palma City is how much nature's incorporated. We've now entered this really big underground bus central. There's lots of cool stuff going around. So after finding the right bus and getting on, I quickly discovered that the amount of leg space you get was not for the weak. But the ride itself was incredibly cheap, so I can't really complain. The first part of the bus trip was kind of boring. I could see some nice mountains in the distance, but other than that, it was mostly just normal highway. But then after getting off, I got on the last bus of the trip, and that one was indeed a very fun trip. We quickly got into the mountainside, and it began going up very, very steep. It was an extremely skilled bus driver taking us through this road, and I began to really admire the amount of mountains and just the sheer greatness of the nature we were going through. At this point, I was already pretty excited to go on the hike, and I could feel we're actually getting decent altitude already, which is gonna help me later on, so I cannot complain. And we just kept going higher and higher, and this was by far the most exciting bus ride I've ever taken. Like, it doesn't show well on the video, but you can still see how steep those hills are, and those the most fearless bikers going right beside us. And of course we saw the World Heritage sign as well, and we got off. There was an absurd amount of bikers, but obviously we had to get sunscreen on, we had to get my hat on and a thing to protect my neck, as well as getting all things tidy and ready to go. So we are out taking the first steps now, and this thing is already annoying me so much. So I think I'll take the risk and put it up back in the hat, and then hope the wind isn't too bad, so it doesn't blow away. Much better. And yeah, we have like 1 kilometer to go this way before we actually get on some real hiking path instead of just like walking on the side of the road. It is unfathomable how many cyclists out here today. It's actually insane. So 5 minutes has passed, and I took the wrong route, which is unfortunate. So now we will be moving around. It's not too bad, like 700 meters back again to take the right route this time. We are now back on track. So I managed to go wrong again, which is beginning to be quite impressive. Although this time I only need to get to like the end of that road, then I'm back on track again. But there are so many bicycles going around. It's actually insane. It's just me that walks here, apparently. And I also found out I was planning to go to the highest climb today, the highest mountain, but apparently there's like a big military base on top of that, so civilians aren't really allowed. So I will have to go to like the second or third highest instead, which is still quite high. It's like only like 100 meters shorter than the highest peak. So we will head there now. And today was just the very best day to go on the hike. As you can see, the weather is great. There was no wind, and the nature just looked fantastic. This path is really beautiful. There's so much natural forest around me. It is pretty steep. It is just quite hard to walk up, but so far it's going very nice, and it's so lovely with all the shade you're getting. And just look at this whole path. It is so impressive. Someone has put all these stones here, and they've been here for like hundreds of years. It's amazing. So right now I'm taking the first spray of the day. Found this nice little spot. I have just been overtaken by 3 grandmas. I'm trying to not let that go to my ego too much, but they were very fast. So I'll just sit here and eat the first part of my lunch. After I'd eaten, I reached this small little fun stairway to get over to the other side, and I met some other hikers in the way, and they were quite nice. I am still on the right track. There's these like weird things in the ground, but this path is surprisingly nice. It's just very steady. It goes a lot downhill, which is a bit annoying, but other than that, it's actually a very, very pleasant route so far. But then again, I've only been walking for around 3 kilometers, and I hope by the end of the day we'll probably have hit around 20-ish, depending on how much time we have and how quickly the sun goes down. So right now I'm in the middle of nowhere. Seems to be just me who chose this route. It's a very nice area. It's very quiet. It's a bit of birds chirping around, but
Other than that, I am quite enjoying this walk. It is a bit warm. It is a bit warm. But that might be because I choose to go with the long sleeve and the long pants. But we'll make it through. We'll make it through. I think I'll take a short break in not too long. Find a nice area to sit down. There's loads of areas to sit down right here. So I think maybe I'll probably keep going for like 30 minutes or so and then find a place to settle. I have come to this weird little building. Seems it could be fun to explore. If I'm heading this way when I'm going back, I honestly might just take a quick trip in there and see what's going on. Down there, I don't know if you can see it, but down there, there's also like a bigger building thing. I'm pretty sure someone lives in there, so I wouldn't go knocking on their doors. This thing keeps going up and up and up, but it's truly an amazing route. I'm so glad I picked this one so far. The nature is absolutely stunning, and the weather is just perfect for going hiking. Overall, this is a great. What's that? There's a weird door leading into. Am I going the right way? I might not be going the right way because there's a weird. I don't know if you can see it. Right over there, there's like a weird door going into something. This may be the start of a horror movie. Who knows? I am now gotten a bit higher up. I've been walking with this pretty steep hill. I'm going further up there, and I'm beginning to look for a place to have some lunch and have my beloved white monster energy drink. I'm beginning to feel just a tiny bit exhausted from all this walking uphill. I'm beginning to get pretty high up now. You see behind me, there's a pretty long way down, and I'll have to keep going this way. That will be very interesting to see if I manage to not fall down this huge cliff. That would be very nice. I need to invest in a GoPro soon because it's very hard to go down these pretty steep hills while holding a phone in my hand. So you're gonna just have to imagine me doing cool backflips down this thing. Remember earlier today when I told you about the military base? I think I've located it. I'm pretty sure it's that one over there. That's the American NATO military base, something like that. So that is the highest mountain in Mallorca, and this is one of the second highest. See, I am pretty high up right now, and I have to take pretty careful steps to avoid not tumbling down to my certain death, which would be quite annoying. I have just now finished my lunch in this nice little shady area I found, and it's time to keep moving. I will need to follow the track all the way up there somewhere, I think. The weather is still holding up very, very nice, so I can't complain. Let's keep moving. So I have climbed a bit more. The last part was actually pretty hard. Most of it went pretty steep right there, and now I have a very lovely view. I think the next part I'll be going to is over here. It looks like I'm just gonna keep going up there. Whew. I've seen a few people go up this way, so it shouldn't be too difficult. But I must admit, it's not easy. It's not an easy route to take, but it isn't too bad so far. Although this hat is beginning to annoy me a lot, because every time I look up to a certain degree, it begins to like flop off my head. And when you're walking very, very much upwards, it can become quite the problem. But I will keep you fellas updated when we get closer and closer to the top.
So at this point I was actually really close to turning around because this pass was extremely difficult because there's no way to attach myself, so if I fell down I would be in lots of problems. But I knew I was very close to the top, and of course we got the summit.
I've reached the top of the mountain and it's very windy up here. I have to put the straps behind my ears now. Now first of all I have huge ears, so that doesn't happen. But yeah, I am pretty high up at the moment.
And I was at the very top, around 1.4 kilometers in the air. So I was pretty high up, you would say. And the views was just magnificent. It was quite windy as you saw before, which was annoying. But I mean, look at this view from up top. But all good things has to end, and I knew the sunlight wouldn't last forever. So obviously I had to begin making my way back down as well. But obviously I still had to take in the view just for a few minutes. And I got to do some fun little photo shoots and photo takes with a very, very cool background, you must admit.
I'm now at the very top of the mountain. So what I have time to just like get a bit high up over there, but I simply don't have time. I have to spend around the next like 3.5 hours getting back, and then to like the base camp or what you want to call it, and then take the bus home again, which takes another 3 to 4 hours. So yeah, I will have to settle back now. This was such a good trip. The view, I know you can't like really admire it the way I can, but it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's very windy though, so that's why I have to put this behind my ears now. You know, get huge ears. But it's the only way my hat doesn't fall off. And I don't want to go down there and get the hat. So it's been a great trip. I've also had some few talks with a few other people that are doing this hike. There's a certain point, I think I showed you earlier, where I had to climb like a bit up, and I actually turned around for just a bit to think, do I really want to go longer than this? Because it was a really difficult climb. I'm not a very skilled climber, and there's no way to secure myself, so if I fall, that wouldn't be so good. But I decided to push through and get up, and now it's just a matter of getting back safely, and we can end the day on a very lovely note.
So the first part about getting back actually went quite nice. Also found this fun little orange rock. There's a lot of them on the mountainside.
So as you can see, this is where you go down. You go straight down there, then this part a little further. You also go straight down for like 5 meters. I've just seen a 5-year-old crawl up there, so if I'm gonna end up falling down and dying, it's gonna be a bit embarrassing.
So here you can kind of get a feeling of how steep it actually was.
I've managed to get down, and although my hat was, even with my ears holding it, pretty close to falling off a lot of times, I've made it down this death trap. I have no idea how that 5-year-old got up. It's not that easy, like even with my long arms and all that, it was pretty difficult. And they got a dog up there as well. I didn't mention that, but they got a little dog up there. Those guys are insanely impressive.
But once again, you just have to take a moment and admire the mountain regions and how exceptionally beautiful they are.
The more I go down here, the more impressed I was that what looked to be around a 70-year-old grandma and a 5-year-old girl managed to get all the way up here. Because there's some pretty steep jumps. I have to take a lot of jumps that are roughly like 120 down, which means they have to take 120 meter steps upwards, which I have to imagine must be pretty hard when your legs are like 50 centimeters long.
At this point I got a little bit distracted because I saw a mountain goat with her small baby mountain goat walking alongside, which I thought was pretty cool. It was also really satisfying to hear the echo when you throw rocks down this hill. At this point, I was feeling very good about the whole thing. The summit was made without the biggest problems, and the weather has just been amazing the whole day. If you look, there's like a few clouds in the sky, but the sun is shining at full volume. And there's like a nice breeze, but it wasn't too bad when you first got like kinda down the mountain. It was more just like a nice breeze. So overall, it was a great time.
Oh, got you. The sun is beginning to bake quite a lot, so I will try as soon as possible to find a place with some nice shade. Oh, I almost just twisted my ankle. That wouldn't have been too good. I'm getting too unfocused. I have no idea what I look like right now. I'm getting too unfocused when I'm speaking to the camera. So far, no real damages has been done, other than obviously to my ego, seeing a dog climbing the same mountain as I do and doing it with more ease. But I'm pretty soon gonna reach a pretty shaded area with the trees over there. That's gonna be very lovely. I'm gonna sit down for a quick drink and maybe some snack as well. And then, of course, we will keep moving onwards. You have to love the silence when I stop my yapping for just a quick moment. It is. Nature is the only place where you truly can find a calming silence like that. I really hope more people, maybe not by my channel, but just in general, get inspired to go out and explore nature some more. Because nature is meant for everybody. You don't have to go up a mountain like this if you don't want to. Just a simple walk in the forest near your house, maybe just once a week. You can listen to some music if you want to. That's what I'm doing sometimes. But the best part, if you just get into the zone, no music, no distractions, and just enjoy being one with nature. I'm saying that without trying to sound too much like a hippie from the 70s, but it is truly a wonderful, wonderful place to be. So now I found my spot in the shade. It's wonderful. You can kind of smell all the pine trees. It gives that nice, lovely. Oh, my bad. It gives that nice, lovely aroma, which is just great. So now I think I will enjoy some of the snacks. Maybe sit down for 10-20 minutes, and then we have like 2 more hours to go until we can begin heading home. So once again, I've managed to get a little bit lost. I know I'm supposed to go this way, just somewhere this way, but there's not really a path to follow. I'm thinking it looks like somewhere down there I should be able to, but we'll take it as we go. So I found my way down. Found my way down. I got down. Most of it was through like bushes and trees, but we're still here. So that's a success. The time is around 4 right now, and the sun is still high, so I will need to reapply my sunscreen. Probably for the last time, I think. It's not really a problem. Take like 3 minutes to do, and it keeps my skin a lot safer, so I don't look 60 when I'm 20, and I'm still able to go around on hikes also in the warmer countries like Spain, so I don't have to stay in Norway all the time. I'm actually not sure if the buses are still going back to where I'm from. I hit my earring. That was nice. I'm hoping, because also I have a very, very long walk to get to the nearest bus station. But I'm pretty sure I checked it before I left. And I'm pretty sure that they will be going until like around 7 o'clock. So that should give me enough time to get back. I'm not that far away. Or maybe like, if I'm going in like a somewhat quick tempo and manage to don't get lost, then I'll probably be good to go. Then I'll probably end up at the bus station around 2 hours, I hope. I mean, this is still a nice route, but now we're entering a little more of the boring area per se, because once you've been on top of the mountain, this seems a bit more dull. But it's still nice. There's still some nice trees and some beautiful structures like these walls that are being built all the way up there. I can't imagine someone actually putting all these stones. But I will, as always, keep you fellas updated on how it's going. And I'll see you in a bit. I don't know how much you can tell in camera, but these hills are pretty steep to walk up. But slow and steady, we are getting there. And it's beginning to get a little more cloudy, and the sun is setting very slowly, which means it's not as warm, which is quite nice. There's still these weird gaps in the road you have to look out for to avoid twisting your ankle. But slow and steady, we're getting closer. Although I will need another drink soon. You get very thirsty walking in the warm weather like this. If you are wondering earlier the size of the mountain I climbed up, it is this one. We walked right over there, right there. Then we walked up, and then we ended somewhere around there. Yeah, that is the mountain we managed to go up towards today. Actually, when I first took this route, I didn't know it was going to be that mountain, but apparently it was. And I mean, not much to say. We did it. It went quite well. No broken bones. So yeah, today was a big success. Now the only goal is I need to catch the bus before it leaves, because then it would take around 24 hours to walk back to my house from here. And I have school tomorrow, so I don't really have the time to do that. I once again see my beloved staircase, which means we're close. Which way to go? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. It is quite motivating when you see the spot you went to earlier. This was where we had our first lunch, and now we're moving past it. It's a really cool little place, let's be honest. It looks quite nice. Same question again. Which way to go? I think I'm like 70% sure it's this way. So that's where we'll be headed. We have now reached the wooden gate. I actually don't remember this from before, but obviously gotta close it again. I found some furry friends over here, a few goats and a few sheep over there. You can hear the bells ringing, but these guys seem pretty chill. It is still so extremely impressive whoever managed to lay all these stones on top of each other. Like, having to carry all that stone all the way up there, that is truly hard work. We have now hit the road again. I do not judge. He can do his thing if you like. Come on, you got it. You got it. Yeah, there we go. At it, boy. Well done. Well done. But yeah, as you can quite clearly hear, we are back again on the road, which is not nearly as nice as walking in nature, I must admit. There's so many cars around here, and the bicycles again, of course. Once again, I don't really want to talk about it, but once again I ended up going the wrong way. But this time there's actually a reason. I forgot the route starting point is down this way, but I came from the other side, so I ended up going I took like a short break with going in there. So I skipped like a small part of the route. Yeah, so now I have to get back to the bus station, and it seems there will be a bus not too long, which I'm very, very happy for. It still amazes me I can look and still see the mountain over there. That is absolutely incredible. So we are now waiting for the bus at the bus stop. I'm getting my phone just a bit of extra charge. And it looks like we will be spending around 1.5 hours getting to the city centrum. And if I'm lucky, I can get picked up. That means it'll take me half an hour to get home. If I'm unlucky and not get picked up, it will take me like 1.5 hours more. So either it's gonna take 2 hours or it's gonna take 3 hours. Either way, we'll make it back home. It's not even 6 yet. So far, it's been a great day.
The first bus went great. There wasn't really any people in the bus, so I was just sitting there and enjoying the magnificent views that this ride had to offer.
So far the bus is around 20 minutes late, which is not ideal, because that means I will most definitely miss the second bus as well. And it's beginning to get pretty cold, only being out in a shirt. Yeah, so far 20 minutes late. Could potentially be a lot more than that. So let's see how it goes. So I just checked and my bus will be 40 minutes late from now, which is unfortunate, but it isn't the biggest problem, because then I'll just eat my dinner now. I see there's a KFC right across the street, so I will treat myself to some lovely chicken. Well, I just got around the street and look who it is. That's my bus. So apparently it wasn't 40 minutes late after all. That is extremely annoying. I don't have time to get it, but might as well enjoy some KFC then.
So this KFC definitely wasn't the best one. I mean, look at that bacon. Might be the saddest bacon I've seen in my life. But I was hungry and it was a nice place to sit, and the workers were quite nice. So I did enjoy sitting there and watching my movie and eating my chicken nuggets. So overall, I couldn't complain. It was alright. After finishing up and cleaning my stuff out, as any normal person would do, I managed to just in time catch my bus. Like, I saw it rolling in just as I stepped out of the restaurant, which I'm quite happy I made it. I ended up taking the bus the whole way there. It took like 2 hours, but it is what it is.
So I'm just about to be home. Clock is just about to turn 9, which means I have been out the last 12 hours. We have the beautiful sunset behind me. Looks absolutely phenomenal. How could I ever complain? Yeah. Overall, today's trip has been very amazing, and I can most definitely recommend, if you ever visit Mallorca and like to travel, take a day trip out there. If you're staying in Palma, it doesn't take more than around 1.5 hours to get out there by bus. And as you saw, the bus ride is extremely beautiful as well. So I will put a link in the description to show exactly what route I take. If you would like to take the same route as I mean, just take a moment, look at that sunset. It's phenomenal. I hope you enjoyed this very first video of mine on this new channel, and hopefully I will see you guys soon in the next one. Bye.